good afternoon. Welcome to Ask Dr. Lulu, the last one of the year, the last Sunday of the year. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. I changed my location because I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm still big time jet lagged. So I'm going this way and that is because I'm looking at you guys over here. Hi, Gigi. Oh my God. Gigi, I was just thinking about you. Gigi, I was just thinking about you because remember this time last year, Gigi, this time last year on December 31st, I was having the dance party. Hi, Alicia. Hey, Armstrong. I was having the dance party, Gigi, and you joined me. We were dancing to oldies. Do you remember that? Hi, Gigi. How is everyone doing? Hi, Jacqueline. And how are you doing, Alicia? So my name is Dr. Lulu. I am a national and now newly minted international speaker on youth suicide. I just wanted to come here today and say a big thank you. Nothing prepared, nothing. Oh, look at that. How do you like that one piece of hair that just, strand of hair that just sticks out? Nothing prepared, nothing serious. This is a zero content episode. We're not talking about anything heavy. So if you're watching me, Gigi, I know you're in Florida. Jacqueline, where are you watching me from? Alicia, where are you stationed now? Please take a second to type in where you're stationed, and I'm not going to rest until that hair stays flat. But type in where you're stationed, and or rather where you're watching me from, and tell me one thing or maybe two things that happened in 2019 that just either blew your mind or just made you the happiest person ever, and so forth. So for me, it was just doing this thing, you know. Hi, Alice. Hi, Alice, rather. It was just doing this, just doing what I'm doing right now, just being able to talk and being able to put my passion out there, be vulnerable, cry, ugly cry, we snort, happy, jumpy, excitable. That's who I am. I'm just a little bit under the weather, so I'm not dressed fancy today. I've been drinking a mixture of all kinds of things, including honey and echinacea and apple cider vinegar and Theraflu, just so I could bounce back. But today the weather is gloomy, the sun is out, but it's cold, it's winter. Hi, Todd Allen, and I'm just trying to be me today, nothing serious. Hi, Mata John. We're just going to talk about 2 or 3 things. If you're watching me on my regular page, please type down 2 or 3 things that happened this year that made the year memorable for you. For me, it's more than 3, but I just want you guys to just do 2 or 3, okay? And then I'll just share mine. So of course, my first one, the first quarter of the year was amazing because I had my first book ever, and it went viral, so to say, because it was a bestseller. So February 29th, yeah, February 29th, this year was a leap year, yes? Ellis will know this. Was this year a leap year? Whatever, the last day of February this year, I released my first book called How to Raise Well-Rounded Children. And that book, honestly, it was a Facebook Live, believe it or not. It was a Facebook Live that I transcribed and I converted into a book because I was kind of stuck in a rut. I couldn't get my first book completely out of, done. I was still doing a lot of research, and I realized it was going to take a lot more time. So let me see if I can grab a couple of my books. Jabem, can you please grab me the green book in that bookshelf and the blue book on my table in the bedroom? Hi, Rebecca. So the first quarter of the year brought in my first book, which I am just so thankful because I didn't realize that I wrote 2 books in 10 months. My bosom friend, Kwabi, made me realize that I wrote 2 books, 2 bestsellers in 10 months. I mean, who does that, right? Yeah, I thought you would know that because you know everything, at least for real. I don't mean that as a joke. You do know everything. So this is the first book that came out. It's on the table in the bedroom. This is the first book that came out. It's called How to Raise Well-rounded children. I'm trying to get the lights. And my baby son, the one I just asked to get the blue book, is the one on the cover right there. He's the one on the cover. And so this book was, I wouldn't call it a labor of love per se, but it was definitely something that I loved doing. It was fun. It was a Facebook Live that I just transcribed. So it's not a very big book, self-published, but it was full of just 16 things you can do to raise well-rounded children. And one of them is, responsibility, for instance. You want to instill the responsibility in your kids. And that's like a no-brainer. So it's a dummy. It's a dummy. It's a dummy. And so I have some like responsibility. And then each chapter, hi Sunday, each chapter starts with a quote. Okay, so for instance, chapter 14 on this book, How to Raise Well-Rounded Children, talks about the price. The quote is, the price of greatness is responsibility. So to become great, you must be responsible, is a quote by Winston Churchill. Very simple. And then what I talk about how responsibility is a close associate of independence and is defined as the opportunity or the ability to act independently or make decisions without authorization. That's responsibility. So something as simple as that, how you raise that, you instill that in your kids so you can raise well-rounded children. Hi, Drell. So the first quarter of the year brought this baby in. And as if this was not good enough, I went to Singapore. So I went to East Asia for the first time. And then I turned 50, the big 50. And my gift to myself was this baby. That was my plan, was to give something to myself. Hola, Judge Carlos, how are you? My plan was to give something to myself for my 50th birthday that I'd never given to myself before. And the only thing that was missing was a book. So I said, why not? So I wrote the book, and the book was a huge success, which I didn't think it was going to be, because you know how we doubt ourselves all the time. So if you haven't learned anything from me, please learn that. Stop doubting yourself. You are good enough. You are. It's just, I don't know what to say. Anything you put your mind into, you will achieve. You just have to believe it. So this book came out of the first quarter of the year, and I'm thankful. And of course, within the next 10 days, I turned 50. So my 50th birthday to the world was my first event, my first Parenting Your Teen workshop event, which is called Dr. Lulu's Parenting Your Teen Workshop. It's a no-brainer, right? But I did that because I wanted to give back to parents and their children for the years of support and the years of trust in me and all the things I've been doing. So I wanted to do that, and I had a coach, and she coached me into doing the event, and it was a success. And then I've had 3 or 4 more since then, and we have another one coming up. Judge Carlos, if you're watching me, I need you to get your people together. We have another Dr. Lulu's Parenting Your Teen Summit this time around. It's going to be coming up on the 18th of January. It's going to be part of the Dream Week San Antonio events. It's going to be epic, I think. It's going to take place at the Breathe Lounge, which is on 410 and Broadway. So please get your folks together and head on up there. January 18th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to be talking to parents. That's it. Parents and teenagers. Hi, Manny. So the second half of the year was a little bit less, dramatic, not quite as the second quarter of the year, not quite as dramatic as the first quarter with a book and a 50th birthday. I mean, you can't top that. But my cousin graduated from pharmacy school. So I got to go to Charlotte, North Carolina to celebrate with him. And while I was at Charlotte, I did another event because my practice used to be in the Charlotte area. So that was a way of tying them all together. Hi, Manny. Tying them all together and just telling myself that, okay, this first one was not a fluke, right? I could pull it off. And believe it or not, my second event had double the number of people. We had about 72 attendees. Not bad for something that was basically arranged virtually, right? Because I'm here in Texas and North Carolina is in North Carolina. But it was great. I had a lot of help from people like Stephanie Tweedy, who's watching me on Ask Dr. Lulu, and her son, her beautiful son, who joined us and just made it an epic day. Hi, Rachel Brewer. Please take a minute and tell me, or a second, and tell me where you're watching me from if you're watching me, and write down one or two things that happened to you in 2019 that made it an epic year. And that's what I'm just going through my highs. I'm not talking about any lows, just my highs of 2019, the end of an era, the end of a decade. Ironically, my baby son was like, Mom, the other day, he said, Mom, guess what? This is my first decade that I'm actually seeing the end of. I don't know how, I'm just paraphrasing, but he was celebrating the fact that he's never seen the end of a decade before. So this is exciting, you know, this is awesome. The last decade of my life, which ended in 2009, I think that was when I filed for divorce. So yeah, here's to ending all decades on a high note, right? So that was my divorce, 2009. This year, I became an international speaker. I became a two-time best-selling author. This is no joke, okay? I don't know anybody that writes two best-selling books in 10 days, in 10 months. I know me now, okay? So it's exciting for me. So allow me to bask in my glory for a little bit, okay? So second quarter of the year, I had my second event, and and that was in Charlotte, North Carolina. That was about it. The third quarter, actually the end of the second quarter, I had my first talk to a room full of doctors. That was in June of 2019. I was a guest speaker on what they call the hot topics, the topics that are trending. And because suicide is a trending topic, whether you like it or not, I got an opportunity to speak to a room full of Nigerian doctors, about 400 or 500 of them, in Washington, D.C. in June. And that event, believe it or not, has opened so many doors. So the advice from that is, even if you're not getting paid, hi Chinyere, even if you're not getting paid, if you have an event, or if you're asked to speak at an event and it's in line with what you talk about, just do it, because you never know who might be sitting in the audience. First of all, Her Royal Highness Chimamanda Adichie was the ultimate guest speaker. She was the keynote speaker, and I got to meet her and take a picture with her, okay? But then also I met a bunch of other people who are doing things bigly in the Nigerian scene. And then when I went to Nigeria a couple of weeks ago, you know your girl, I hooked up with them, and I got connected, and I just kind of kept those lines of communication open. So do things even if you're not getting paid. Sometimes just do it pro bono, because you never know who is sitting in the audience. Okay. Then hi Chinyere. Yeah, has it been that long? I guess I didn't do one last week because I was just coming back from Nigeria. No, I hadn't come back from Nigeria. I was on my way home last Sunday. About this time, I was still on the air. And then the Sunday before last, I was full blown in Nigeria. Couldn't do a Facebook Live. I think the one before that, I can't remember what happened. Did I do one or not? I don't know. But this is the last Sunday of the year. This is the last Facebook Live of the year. I think it's worth doing. So we're not sharing any kind of content today. We're just talking about your highs, and maybe if you want to share your lows. If you're watching me, let me know what are the things that happened in 2019 that were like highs for you and you want to share. Okay. So third quarter came in, and by the third quarter, I was feeling the pressure to finish my second book because I had to give a talk, my very first Grand Rounds lecture ever in New York. And I was like, I need to get this thing done. I need to get this thing done. So the pressure was mounting. But in the meantime, third quarter also ushered in my podcast, which thank you all so much for listening and downloading. We just celebrated 3,000 solid downloads this week, okay? I'm a gratitude person. I love to say thank you. I say thank you a lot. I'm going to say one more thank you. If you're watching me now and you have not downloaded my podcast, you're not listening to my podcast, I don't know why. Do me a favor, write it down. Suicide Pages. And Chinyere, unfortunately, we tried to record your episode. It just wasn't working out. The powers that be just would not let us um, just celebrate, just not celebrate, would not let us do any recording because of the I guess the connection through Skype or Zoom rather was just not, it was not feeding us. Ellie says, sorry, no highs in 2019. Then celebrate your lows. I mean, it's always a perception, as you know. You're alive, you're seeing the end of 2019. To me, Ellis, that is a high because many, many people woke up January 1st, 2019 and did not see today. So pardon me if I say it is a high that you're alive. So please write that down. Don't tell me you don't have any high. Waking up in the morning is a high because many people went to bed last night and are not here right now. So let's check that. Okay, baby girl? Let's check that. And then, so that was my third quarter. So my practice called Dr. Lulu's Youth Health Center, we kicked that off in August. My podcast, we kicked that off in July. Both are doing very well, if I might say so myself. Thank you all so much for the support. I am a gratitude kind of person. That was my third quarter. My fourth quarter was when I did indeed give the talk in New York, which was an epic success. I didn't get the book ready on time for New York, but because I knew I was going to Nigeria in December, honey child, I stayed up many a night trying to get this baby ready. Okay? This is a dummy because I sold out all the real copies, but trying to get this baby ready was difficult. But you reach deep down and you find that thing within yourself that allows you to go there. It's a very tough thing to do. Writing a book is lonely. You're doubting yourself every step of the way. I was doubting myself. I kept saying to myself, the book is not going to be good enough. Nobody's going to want to read it. It's crazy. I was saying that to myself. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Every now and again, even those of us that don't look like we shake and we have wobbly legs. We do. Let me tell you something. I stayed up. I cried. It was hard. I abandoned my little son a lot because I just wanted to get the book done. The wife now was complaining over there that, I'm spending all the time with the book, but I had to get the book done. I had to finish writing it. And when you're writing something like poetry or drawing or writing a book, you always feel like there's more to add to it. And I had to remind myself that I cannot put every single thing in this one book. It's not possible. Just write the book already, write it afraid, and push it out. And so I managed to get the e-version ready about 5 or 6 days before I got on the plane to go to Nigeria. And the night before I left for Nigeria, December 9th, I stayed and I stayed and I stayed up and I got that book formatted to have it ready for KDP to print. And so I pushed it out at 11:35 p.m. the night before I traveled to Nigeria. Luckily for me, I had a local publisher here who was able to push out X amount of copies for me. So I was able to give it out to those people who were booking, who like pre-booked. And then I took a few home with me and everything sold out. And everyone has been telling me just how good the book is. So if you haven't gotten the book yet, it's called A Teen's Life. And for the next 24 hours, the version, the Kindle version is free. Go to Amazon and get it. For the next 24 hours, it is free. It doesn't get any better than that. After 24 hours, you're going to go back to $4.99, which I know you guys can afford, okay? But apparently you have to do a promotion from time to time, so I'm doing a promotion. I've also ordered 100 more copies of the hard copy of the paperback. So if you need an autographed version of it, please holler at your girl. I'll get you an autographed version. Okay. So last quarter, I went to Nigeria and I had, oh, the best time. Okay. I met with family, which was good, but also I had a blast with my speaking engagements. 9 days. Okay. And my books were sold out. And I have about 3 people who paid already, and about 7 others who are like on standby waiting for the book. So thank you all so much for the support, is all I can say. Right now, I'm in talks with a couple of publishers in the Nigerian scene so we can get some books for people who live in Nigeria so you can order it and have it for yourself in Nigeria. I need to get an autographed copy of the new book. Yay, Stephanie, thank you. I will put the link to the PayPal so you can just pay, because basically I have I have them with me. I'm going to pin your comment. Yes, I have them with me. So I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put the link, Stephanie. Thank you so much. But yeah, so please order your autographed copies. It doesn't get any better than that. I was crying actually. You know what? One of my beta readers was my mom. My mom is gangster. Okay, my mom cried reading my book. She didn't even read the whole thing. She read because I added a few more things after she was done. Almost everyone that was a better reader told me that they cried. A couple of them couldn't even finish the book because of the rawness of some of the stories. And every single thing is fictitious, but the book is nonfiction because it has self-help and stuff like that in it. But every single thing it came from my head. And that's why I cried. I stopped writing the book for about 3 weeks after one of the kids. So if you don't know about the book yet, it is a book that talks about suicide in youth. The first part of the book is talking about the global problem of suicide. The second part, part 2, is 12 teenagers or 12 youth who write me letters about their stories and share their life with me and why each of them came up with the decision to kill themselves or to hurt themselves. Okay, that's part 2. And then part 3 is, what do you do? What does a parent have to do? What does a teacher have to do? What do teenagers have to do? What does the government have to do? You know, and of course, each of my books has me in them. So a lot of the experiences are mine, but as a doctor, as a mom, as a person of the world, a lot of the experiences are mine. I have a lot of quotes. I'll never stop talking about quotes. Toye, my mom is gangster. Congratulations on getting this book out there. Thank you, Toye. Yes, my mom is straight up gangster, but she cried reading my book. And yes, I think it's a good thing that my mom is gangster because it's not easy to raise 6 kids, 3 boys and 3 girls. No. So my mom is gangster, but she read the book and she cried in more than one of them. So of course I put her comments in the book. Why not? You know? And one of my doctor friends, remember, give me that blue thing there. One of my doctor friends actually was one of the first people to read the book. And she wrote me a comment as a text. And what I did was I took that comment and I put it on the back matter of the book. I'm going to read the comment to you in about 3 seconds once my little man child brings it. Just so you know, Tonya, you're in England, yes? You need to get your book. The book is available on Amazon, but I'll be in the UK in August, in April. So if you don't get it that way, you're going to get it through me, okay? I'll be in the UK in April. So I'm going to read what my friend Dr. Hawkins said. She's a family physician. She said, I didn't read the whole thing yet. These are her words, not mine. She said, so they're quotes. I didn't read the whole thing yet, but what I read really touched my heart. I expected a book about how hard being a teenager can be, but I came away with a deeper understanding of the real threat of suicide. 2 exclamations. And this is the book. This is the cover. So I'm reading out of this. Okay. So she said, it's like it's a real living, breathing thing, just prowling and seeking whom it may devour. An opportunistic beast, and with the beast in capitals. can see that. Okay. And then she said, I'm not even halfway through the book, and I'm a better physician for reading it. I don't know what gets any better than that. Hi, Uche. She's in the UK. Yes. So if you want to get a copy, Tonye, if you want, we're talking about my new book. If you want to get a copy, if you want me to bring, because I'll be giving a talk in France, but I'll just hop on to the UK for a couple of days while I'm there. So I'm going to have books with me. So if you want to wait till then, you can. But if you want to get the book now from Amazon, do get it. And then what I'll do is when I come and I see you, I'll autograph it. So there are many ways to kill a cat. Okay. But that was just a little piece of what someone who read the book said. Now, my back matter has just a brief summary of some of the stories. So if you just indulge me for a second. Anisha, and by the way, when I picked the name Anisha, it was actually a crowd sourcing thing. I'm in a group of like 15,000 Indian women who are all for change. Yeah. So I asked them to give me a name that would signify suffering to some extent. Hi, Lynette. Suffering. So I picked Anisha because Anisha means darkness and light, something like that. So Anisha was only 3 years old when she was betrothed to a 6-year-old boy whom she had never met. She finds out at the age of 12 and becomes obsessed with killing herself, swearing that she will never attend her own wedding. Find out what she does to get even with a society that still celebrates mass underage marriages to this day. Powerful, okay? I had a girl 2 days ago who read, and when she got to Anisha, she sent me a text. She was like, I met Anisha. And then she was like, I've been screaming and shouting at the book. That's what we do when we're reading or when we're watching a movie, right? We shout and scream at the movie and try to tell the movie stuff, tell the movie to stop doing some things. So the second story is at the age of 10 years old, a civil war broke out in Omar's country, in what the United Nations is now calling the worst humanitarian disaster of our time. However, at the age of 14 years old, his own parents enlisted him to fight in the Yemenis army, a war he barely understands, let alone knows how to fight in. Find out what Omar does, if anything, to keep his sanity and his faith. Oh my God, let me tell you something. I know I wrote the book, right? It's like a mother always thinks that their child is the best. But I kid you not, this is actually a pretty good book, if I may say so myself. It's gotten rave reviews, bestseller. It doesn't get any better than that. So the Kindle version is free on Amazon for 24 hours only. If you're listening to me and you have a Kindle, grab your copy for free, right? If you want the autographed copy, because I don't do Kindle, I do paperback. I want to hold my book in my hand. I will be posting the link to the PayPal. It is $24.99 with tax and shipping and handling. Everything comes to about $27 and $33, depending on where it's going. So please have that in mind when you're ordering the book, okay, through the PayPal link that I'm going to post. It is available. You can get it now, and I can autograph those copies that you get through the PayPal link for you. Otherwise, it's on Amazon, it's on my website, it's everywhere it's sold. I'm trying to get it on Barnes and Nobles. I'm trying to get it to Sam's Club, and I'm trying to get it to Costco. We are working on this, okay? Hi, Bridget. Bridget, you need to get the book, okay? I know I'm beautiful. Thank you so much, but you need to get your copy of the book. We have a free 24 hours to get a free copy from Amazon Kindle if you want to. So please, this is like serious. Get the free copy and then send me a review. That's all I ask. Just please write a review for me. Send it to me on Messenger, put it on Amazon, something, anything. So my last quarter, and if you're just joining me, hi Fanny. If you're just joining me, we're talking about the things that happened this year that were highs. We're celebrating highs. Of course, there are lows naturally, but we're celebrating only the highs because sometimes I feel like it's important. It's important to stay positive and just have that positive energy. So, Bridget, if you're going to order the book, let me know if you want an autographed copy, and I'll send you the link on the PayPal link. If you want to get it on Amazon, feel free. If you want to get a free copy, I don't do Kindle, but it's available on Kindle for 24 hours for free. Okay. I went to Nigeria, y'all. Let me tell you something. I am Nigerian, but even the fact that I'm Nigerian, I haven't lived in Nigeria for many years, okay? Nearly 30 years, okay? So going home again, I went home 2 years ago, and I went home again in December, just a couple of weeks ago. It was phenomenal. The reception was amazing. I mean, it's good to be recognized, but when your own people recognize you, it is the best feeling ever. And that's what happened. These folks came out and they showed out. All my books were bought, and I have all the people that have ordered the books, and I'm just like overwhelmed, right? Thank God for people like you who have listened to me and have just been there for me. I wrote that blog post that was called Nigeria in 10 Days and the Making of an International Speaker, and I got overwhelming good reviews on it. So thank you guys so much, because you are the wind beneath my wings. And like I always say, even the best orator in the world, even Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, everyone who you know who is a great speaker, you need listeners. And so my pride and joy has always been you guys who have stayed true to me and have just always listened to me. And thank you so much for the year 2019. 2020 definitely promises to bring more better things. And thank you, Ellis, for the hearts. Always such a good girl with the hearts. And I'll see you all in 2020. Like I said, this was going to be a content-free talk. I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm drinking all kinds of things here just to keep me feeling better, because I think I caught something on the plane. And so anyway, all right, folks, since nobody wanted to share their highs for 2019, that's okay. My feelings are not hurt. I'll see you guys in 2019, okay? I'll also put the link to the book and all of that good stuff. Hi, Eleanor. The party's over already. I told you to join me at 2 p.m. Eleanor, you should get the book, and you should come to my event because you live in San Antonio. And let me know if you like to join us for the suicide training that we're going to be having in the next several weeks. I don't know exactly when. We're trying to get 10 or 20 people at the most who are interested. Eleanor, please spread the word, okay? Thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. Stephanie, I'll definitely get you your autographed copy, and I just got a hot flash. Oh my God. Turning 50, I tell you, the struggle is real. All right, I will see you all later. Bye. Happy New Year, right? Bye, Steph.